Assalamu alaikum and greetings to all my viewers. Today I'm going to give you a lesson on reading for meaning, which is a part of English language paper 1123/2. So let me share the screen with you. Okay, so here we go. English language 1123 paper/2. All right, reading for meaning. Uh, yes. There are 25 marks for this part of the paper. This part contains a fictional passage. This passage is generally followed by 6 to 7 comprehension questions. Paragraph number is given for every question. It means the answer is to be based on the information given in that paragraph. After each question, there is a slot given for its answer. These are controlled answers and therefore should be given within the slot provided. That means writing more than the required number of words will be wastage of time. Moreover, it is likely to waste the examiner's time. Each of these comprehension questions will carry 1 or 2 marks. If a question requires one word answer or one phrase answer, it generally carries 1 mark. If a question requires two details, it generally carries 2 marks. Questions beginning with words like why, how do you think, or why do you think, or how can you, in your opinion, etc., generally carry 2 marks. These questions require correct interpretation of the information given in the paragraph or passage. Contextual meaning question follows comprehension questions. This question has words from different paragraphs of the passage. It is a multiple choice question with 4 options A, B, C, and D of answers for each question. There is also a meaning and effect question. You have to show that you understand the meaning of given words. You also have to you also show the impression the writer intends to put. How to answer the questions. Craft is the art of writing. It is the writer's intentional use of figurative language, snapshots, imagery, details, and thought shots. Personification connects readers with the object that is personified. Personification can make descriptions of non human entities more vivid or help readers understand, sympathize with, or react emotionally to non human characters. Figurative language is the language that's intended to create an image, association, or rather or other effect in the mind of the listener or reader that goes beyond the literal meaning or expected use of the words involved. For this reason, the word figurative is often thought of as the opposite of literal, which refers to the strict meaning of the words. For example, the literal meaning of it stinks is it smells bad. The figurative meaning of it stinks is it's terrible. Then I speak about the figurative language, and then I have used some of them. In fact, there are more than 20. So I have used I think 7 or 8 no, six figures of speech. And here's the first one, simile. A figure of speech involving the comparison of one thing with another thing of a different kind, used to make a description more emphatic or vivid. For example, as brave as a lion. Then we have metaphor, a figure of speech in which a word or phrase is applied to an object or action to which it is not literally applicable. Then we have hyperbole, exaggerated statements or claims not meant to be taken literally. Then we have personification, the attribution of a personal nature or human characteristics to something non human, or the representation of an abstract quality in human form. Then we have oxymoron. An oxymoron is a figure of speech containing words that seem to contradict each other. Then finally, we have understatement. An understatement is a figure of speech employed by writers or speakers to intentionally make a situation seem less important than it really is. And here are the examples of simile. Uh, Ali's cell phone dropped into the toilet like a falling star. Food? Chris inquired, popping out of his seat like a toaster strudel. Grandpa lounged on the raft in the middle of the pool like an old battleship. If seen from above the factory, the workers would have looked like clock parts. Toby manipulated the people in his life as though they were chess pieces. Metaphor examples. The detective listened to her tales with a wooden face. She was fairly certain that life was a fashion show. The typical teenage boy's room is a disaster area. The children were roses grown in concrete gardens, beautiful and forlorn. That woman is the cancer of my dreams and aspirations. Hyperbole. Hyperbole examples. Charlie gazed hopelessly at the endless pile of bills stretching across the counter. That was the easiest question in the world. Nothing can bother him. I can smell pizza from a mile away. I went home and made the biggest sandwich of all time. Then, personification example. Justice is blind and at times deaf. Money is the only friend that I can count on. The cactus saluted any visitor brave enough to travel to the scorched land. Jane ate the hot dog despite the arguments it posed to her digestive system. The world does not care to hear your sad stories. Then we have oxymoron examples. Modern dancing is so old fashioned. Samuel Goldwyn. A businessman makes nothing but money is a poor businessman, said by Henry Ford. I'm a deeply superficial person, said by Andy Warhol. We're busy doing nothing, said by Bing Crosby. A joke is an extremely serious issue, said by Winston Churchill. An understatement. An understatement examples. Deserts are sometimes hot, dry, and sandy. Describing deserts. of the world. He is not too thin, describing an obese person, fat person. It retained a bit more than usual. It rained a bit more than usual, describing an area being flooded by heavy rainfall. It was okay, said by the student who got the highest score on the test. It is a bit nippy today, describing the temperature which is 5 degrees below freezing. Reading comprehension questions. Reading comprehensions are accompanied by a number of different question types. Generally, we can classify the different question types into two broad categories: big picture questions based on the whole passage, and specific purpose questions based on some specific element of the passage. These two categories, along with their subcategories, are discussed over here. Okay. Main idea question. This relates to the central idea theme of the passage. For example, which of the following most accurately states the main idea of the passage? Or which of the following best states the central idea of the passage? Or the gist of the passage is: which of the following is the principal topic of the passage? Or summarize the passage in one line. Number two, primary purpose question. This refers to the most important and emphasized point of the passage. For example, the primary purpose of this passage is to the primary focus of this passage is on which of the following. The main concern of the passage is to, in this passage, the author is primarily interested in, the passage chiefly concerned with. This question type can also be asked for a specific paragraph. For example, the primary purpose of paragraph 3 is, instead of the whole passage. Okay. Then title question. By title, we mean the heading that would be most suitable for the passage. The title should be built around the central idea of the passage. For instance, the most apt title for the passage is, select the most suitable title for the passage from the following. Then structure, number 4, structure and organization. Structure or organization is the pattern that the author follows to convey his notions about the given subject. For instance, which of the following best describes the organization of the passage? The structure of the passage can be outlined as: the question may also refer to a particular paragraph of the passage. Which of the following best describes the organization of the first paragraph of the passage? One function of the third paragraph is to, then we have number 5, fact based or specific details or target questions. These questions intend to ask you to identify the correct or incorrect facts. For example, according to the passage states that, which out of the following is true or false? Which dash has not been cited as, according to the author, what is by a dash, the author means which factor has not been cited. Then inference question, that is the sixth category. Inferences are the indirect conclusions of the passage. They are not directly stated in the passage. For example, it can be inferred from the passage. It cannot be inferred from the passage. The passage uses dash to simply to imply that what can be inferred when the author states the sentence dash implies that this question type can also be constructed from a specific portion of the passage. Then we have paraphrase question, that is the seventh category. These questions are essentially ask you to explain the meaning of a particular statement in other words or in different words than that given in the passage. For instance, the following extract can be paraphrased as can be rewritten as. Paraphrase refers to express the same message in different words or rewording the purpose of for the purpose of clarification. Vocabulary question, that is number 9. These questions test your vocabulary, ask you the meaning of a word, phrase, synonym, or the opposite of the word, antonym. The contextual meaning of the word holds more importance here. For instance, identify the meaning of the word in the given text. In the passage, the phrase refers to. In the sentence, what is the meaning of? The above mentioned list is a comprehensive list of question types that are generally asked from reading comprehensions. Any new question will be a derivation of these only. Then we come to another segment of this video, that is text structure. So as you can see, there are different types of text structures. That means whenever something is written, it can either have description or problems or solution, or it can have explanation of something or exposition. It can also talk about comparison, it can compare or contrast. It can also talk about cause and effect, and it can also talk about sequence of events. And I have, thoroughly discussed it. For example, this one, sequence of events. Malcolm was born into privilege. Loch Ness Castle was far from shabby. Set deep in the highlands, it featured fireplaces tall enough for three grown Scotsmen to stand in. Their cook, Mrs. Fitzmaurice, never put anything less than a full spread on their dining room table come evening. As a boy, Malcolm played with his siblings in the pastures, rode horses till he was forced to come in for the night, and read books by the fire until his nanny pushed him up the stairs to bed. So this was sequence of events. Then we have another one, that is compare and contrast. So I'm sure you can pause the video and read this. Then we have cause and effect. I've given only one paragraph from each category. Then problem and solution. Then description. Then explanation or exposition. And that was the last one. Thanks for watching English Essentials with IAK. Watch this video carefully, and I am sure it's going to help you a lot in your upcoming paper. Thanks a lot. It's goodbye from Israr Ahmed Khan. See you in my next video.